Hi, welcome to Mr. Hansen Math. I'm Mr. Hansen. Let me help you with some math. Right now I'm going to talk to you about multiplying integers. I already did a video though. You need to link up there and watch the first video. This video contains more problems as if you've already had the lesson, the explanation. You watch this video up here and you get all the details, get everything laid out, click on it, it'll pause this video, open a new tab, you watch that video, you close it out, you come back and watch this one, and if that video wasn't sufficient and you didn't quite understand it, I'm going to do more problems for you right now. Let's stop wasting time. I'm going to get started. Multiplying integers. 6 times 4 is 24. Wasting everybody's time. I'm not going to do that anymore. Let's take negative 3 times 8. If you remember my table, positive times a positive is a positive. Positive times a negative is a negative. Negative times a positive is a negative. And negative times a negative is a positive. So go back to that table and you'll know that a negative times, if there's only one negative, the answer is going to be negative. And you just take 3 times 8 is 24. Let's go a little faster, taking too much time. 6 times negative 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Just multiply the numbers. 6 times 5 is 30. And a positive times a negative. If there's only one negative, there's nothing to make it cancel. You're still going to have a negative on your answer. Nothing's going to cancel it and make it positive. It's just, I don't care if it's the first number. I don't care if it's the second number. If you only have one negative, your answer will be negative. In fact, if you remember what I said, if there's an odd number of negatives, the answer will be negative. Let's keep going. Negative 10 times negative 9. Guess what? I don't care. 10 times 9 is 90. Write it down. Negative times a negative. Those two negatives cancel each other and you're left with a positive answer. There's the solution, positive 90. 12 times negative 6. 12 times negative 6. First thing I do is 12 times 6. First thing I do is 12 times 6. That looks like 60 plus 12, 72. Positive times a negative is a negative. Let's say negative 4 times negative 7. Nobody likes sevens. Guess what? I don't care. 4 times 7 is 28. Get your times tables. 4 times 7 is 28. Negative times a negative cancels. The answer is positive 28. The answer is positive 28. I hope this is helpful, these extra problems. I honestly hope that they're helpful, but you should be getting on. Hang on to it right now. You multiply the numbers. And then to find out if it's positive or negative, you look how many negatives there are. If there's an odd number, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, then the answer is negative. If there's an even number of negatives, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, then it's going to be a positive answer. And other than that, you just take the numbers times the numbers. Let's say 40 times negative 5. 40 times negative 5. I don't care if the numbers are large, small, odd, even, whatever. I don't care about the numbers. I didn't say if there's an odd number. I'm saying if there's an odd number of negatives. So 40 times 5 is 200. Positive times a negative, that's a negative. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. Negative ln times 5. Negative ln times 5. I don't care about the signs. Just multiply the numbers. 11 times 5 is 55. 55. Okay, then a negative times a positive is only one negative. Nothing's going to make it cancel, so it stays on all the way to the answer. The answer is negative 55. Negative 55. Now I'm going to ramp it up here right now. I'm going to ramp it up. I'm going to multiply more than one integer, more than two. I'm going to multiply more than two integers. Kind of like we did at the end of the first video, but I'm going to show you a little something I think I might have left off. Negative 6 times negative 3 times 4 times 16 times negative 10. I don't care about the number. I can push this button in the calculator and find out the number. I don't care. What I want to know right now is this answer going to be positive or negative? The instructions on your homework assignment or your teacher will probably say, is the product positive or negative? Is the product mean the absolute multiplication problem? Is the product positive or negative? Well, I'm going to just count up my negatives and see how many there are. I have 1, 2, 3 negatives. 2 of them will cancel. I'll have 1 negative on my answer. The answer will be a negative number. And I can just put the numbers in the calculator to find out what that value actually is. But to answer the question, is that positive or negative? It is a negative number. It will be a negative answer. And let's say 14. I'll put a negative. I scratched my pen across there and intended to be positive. I'll make it negative. I don't care. Negative 14 times sin times ln times 41 times 83 times 20 sin times negative 2. Is that positive or negative? I hope you right now you're shouting at your screen, just proud of yourself because you're awesome at this now. I hope right now you're saying, I got one negative, two negatives, they cancel, the answer's positive. Boy, I hope you got that. And I hope you feel good about it because you should. That's a big old number. It's all confusing, it's intimidating. You just count up the number of negatives. Okay, now I'm going to ask you something, but I'm not going to write it down. Let me just see if you can do this. This will be a challenge. If you have 8 numbers that you're multiplying, 8 numbers that you're multiplying, and 3 of them are negative, will the answer be positive or negative? You have 8 numbers. I don't even know what the numbers are. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 numbers that you're multiplying. 3 of them are negative. Will your answer be positive or negative? I'll tell you right now, it's going to be negative. Yeah, but you said there were 8 numbers. Ooh, I don't care how many numbers there are. You're not counting numbers. I didn't go over here and say 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do it. I didn't do it because you're not counting numbers. You're counting how many negatives. Because if you get 2 negatives, they're going to cancel out. If you get 2 more, they're going to cancel out. If you get 2 more, they're going to cancel out. And if you get 1 more, it stays on to the answer. Nothing cancels it. So if I said 8 numbers and 3 negatives, it's the 3 negatives that indicate your answer is going to be positive or negative. 3 negatives. 2 of them cancel. 1 of them's there. The answer is negative. Let's do this again. Let's do it again. Let's start over. New problem. New problem. I'm going to multiply 5 different numbers together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different numbers together, and 2 of them are negative. 5 different numbers. This number times this number times this number times this number times this number. 5 different numbers. 5 different numbers, and 2 of them are negative. I don't care if it's the first 2, the last 2, the sum of this one and this one. I don't care which ones are negative, but 2 of them are negative. 5 numbers, 2 negatives. Those 2 are going to cancel. The answer is a positive answer. Positive number on that one. I think you probably got that. I'm going to do one more of those. I would like you to make sure that you got this before you move on. Let's say, all right, let's do a big one. I'm not messing around this time. Let's say you've got 378 different numbers you're multiplying by. 378 different numbers. 378 different numbers. I'm going to write it down so we don't forget it. 378 different numbers. And you're multiplying all of them. I'm going to run out of paper. If I wrote them all down, I'd run out of paper. I'd turn a page, more paper, I'd be running out of paper. I ain't got time anyway for 378 different numbers. Multiplying 378 different numbers, and 377 of them are negatives. They're negative values. 377 of them are negative numbers. Would my product, would my answer, be a positive or a negative number? I hope you get this. Man, I hope you get this. That product of 378 different numbers, where 377 of them are negative, that product will be a negative value. I hope you got that. Man, I hope you got that right. I hope you feel good about yourself. What happens is 376 of those negatives are going to cancel. 2 of them are going to cancel. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 370, 372, 374, 376. Cancel, cancel, cancel. The even numbers. Every time you get 2, cancel. And the 376 cancels. And the 377, you got 1 other negative at the end. 1 other negative value that doesn't cancel with anything. And so your answer will be negative. Well, I hope that helps. I wish you the best. Never stop learning.